pit have come out and say, God has paid. So I'm so encouraged this evening, and I must end my remarks, because what I've listened to today and what has happened here, and I think spiritually it began in Sultan Hamud, and that's when I met our brother for the first time, and it is true. He went to Zambia and prayed and looked at President Luba at the time, who was not even president. There are men and women who are able to proclaim the word of God fearlessly. So now, the Church of Christ in Kenya, the evangelicals, the Catholics, the Protestants, the Anglicans, even the African Inland Church, where I was baptized, I wonder what's going on. So, I will not keep quiet. Tomorrow I'm going to Kameme FM. I'm not going to keep quiet. I'm not going to keep quiet. Because keeping quiet is complicity. Let us speak the truth as we know it, with confidence and with courage. So, wasn't it Joshua, who God said, my servant Moses is dead, and he said, be strong and of good courage. We all need to be strong and of good courage. So I want to stop there, and tomorrow I'll be saying a lot of things. I got some very disturbing news when I was coming here, that truck drivers from Mogadishu, not from Kenya, from Mogadishu, yesterday in the city of Dola. You know where Dola is? Between the DRC and Zambia. 178 of them were issued with Kenyan identity cards. What does that tell you? After paying a deposit of $900 or $600 US dollars, within 3 weeks, you are brought a Kenyan ID. These are not Kenyan Somalis, because Kenyan Somalis have every right to get their IDs, to get their passports. But these are truck drivers from Mogadishu. And those of you who have known my history, I've spent a lot of time working for peace in the Republic of Somalia. To the extent that I declared myself a member of one of the main clans called the Dikli Mirifli. Perchance that they could hear that if there is instability in Somalia, to that extent we are unstable in Kenya. And I want to tell you, having served as vice president of our country, when Kibaki and us took the decision to ask our men and women to exercise the freedom of hot pursuit after a tourist was killed in Manda Island in Lamu, that's how we got our men inside Somalia. But our number one priority is to have a stable Somalia. But the way to have a stable Somalia is not to give Somalis from Somalia Kenyan IDs. And we must speak this truth. 178 of them yesterday. And the way they are doing it, they convene wedding ceremonies or something, and then they give. And when they are given the ID, then you pay the balance of $900, because a Kenyan ID to a Somali from Somalia is costing $1,500. After that, they are asking then to get Kenyan passports. And we know what is happening with Kenyan passports. That's how we devalue our sovereignty. So that anybody carrying a Kenyan passport now is seen by the international community as somebody who is dangerous. Because we still have the problem of Alshabab, international terrorism. So when you get the national security compromised to that level, then men and women of God must pray. And this must be different. I'm telling you as it is, because it was given to me only this afternoon. And And in fact, I want to urge Kenya and Somalis themselves to stand up, because that will also disenfranchise them. Those of them, if you know how, for example, in the northern Kenya, they have hitherto been doing what is called negotiated democracy, because we have clans there. We have the Digodias, we have the Darots, the equivalent of Darots, and so you don't know who is coming to our country. So I say this because I'm a very serious Kenyan leader who knows that we must work for peace in Somalia, because I've tried to do it myself. Until they signed here in Baghdadi a peace agreement. In fact, they worked out their constitution here under the late Ambassador Bethel Kiplagat, who was working under me, and we did. I got President Abdullah Yusuf, President Abdul Salam, who lives now, Qassam, who lives in Egypt. There's stuff happening here. And we do not have an administration, because it must be an agent of this administration is the one who is now laundering. There's money laundering. Now they're laundering Kenyan IDs. We know there's laundering of Kenyan passports with warlords in Sudan. We know that gold from Sudan, and that is actually called now blood gold from Darfur region, where you don't know as Kenyans that in the neighborhood here, over 2 million Sudanese are living as refugees, some within their own country and others in the neighboring states like Chad. That cannot leave us comfortable. And then we host some of those warlords here because they are using that dhahabu, gold, blood gold from Sudan. It is given Kenyan identity here and exported to the Arab world. So that money then comes in droves. And that's the money that is being used to buy the souls of Kenyans. Because they say everybody has a price. But we have decided today, we are encouraged by the preacher of the day, we shall not keep quiet. How many like me will not keep quiet? Hey, asanteni sana. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. And may this light shine at every corner. Light over Kenya. That first caravan will follow it. Maybe we can convince somebody like Senator Manzo when they get to his county to join them and sleep in Voi or something. But you'll be surprised. It's good they're driving, they're not walking. I didn't know that from the river to Nairobi is 34 kilometers. I tried to walk to raise money for Daystar University with the late Stephen Talitwala, the founder of Daystar. Hey, I found it was a long walk. But this is wonderful because it raises national consciousness. Yani mtu afikirie, Wakenya wafikirie, waone, say something new. And it is started here at the Seed of Hope Church in Kenya. May God bless the work of your hands, imagination, what has taken time to plan, and be very bold as well. Because you will also be seeing our sister who was reading us, was leading some of the prayers, right? Prophetess Overflow. And I know she comes from a very cold part of Nyeri because we went there one time. And this team, Apostle Collins, Ikui, and if you see, of course, Apostle Musili, Mutamsalimia, it's already done. And by God's grace, the Master of all mercies, Kenya will stand as a proud nation in the community of nations. Thank you so much. I think I've spoken for longer than I'd wanted, but thank you. I felt very encouraged. Thank you. You can say something. Anybody who wants to say something? Kapin? No? Dr. Makali? Maybe on the behalf of the team. Thank you.